Welcome to episode 120 of Star Wars and Scotch. Tim, did you ever notice the dichotomy of our two rooms? You are like stooped in darkness and purple Sith lights, and I have the sun shining on me constantly.
Oh, I
Did you ever
noticed.
notice that?
Yeah, I noticed when we get to the 9 a.m. mark, you are oversaturated with sunlight.
Oh yeah,
Like,
and there's
Jesus himself is hanging out outside.
I have sunshades and they're all down, and it's still doing that. Thanks, Florida sun. So, I mean, I could turn my light off, but then Paul gets mad at me when I turn my light
So
off.
this is the difference between a room with windows and a room with no windows.
There you go. But
No windows and
Also-
no doors. Find a way out.
I haven't been on that in like years, and I don't see myself going on it next time because my kids don't like scary. I'm putting on
Haunted
bear quotes
Mansion?
things.
Oh, what a classic.
I know. And then the line has been ridiculous for it lately.
So have you
All the
ever
little hot topic kids like you want to go on it.
gone through fuck you, Kevin. Have you ever gone through the Haunted Mansion when they don't do the elevator room sequence?
No.
So
That's weird. How do
so
they do
yeah,
that?
yeah. So in Florida, that room actually doesn't move.
Yeah, no.
it doesn't
wall
move down.
does
The walls actually go up. In LA, the room actually goes down. It's an actual
elevator.
Correct.
Mhm.
So in Florida, you can literally just when the doors just open up, you can just walk right through. And so I went to the Magic Kingdom to watch Amy do a race. And so they didn't check any tickets. They're like, "Oh, you can come watch your runner." I'm like, "Okay, cool. What do I do now?" And I just wandered around the park because they didn't ticket me. And so I rode all the rides without anyone there. And so I just walked right onto Haunted Mansion. It was really cool. I just wish they would do that because man, the line would just move so much faster.
Yeah, for real.
That room's cool, but that line sucks ass.
I've also been in that room like probably 100 times at this point, so kind of know it by heart.
There's always my way.
Or the end. There's always room for one more.
999 happy Hans.
Anyway,
Sorry, guys. Welcome back to Star Wars.
yeah, that's Tim. I'm Kevin. Or what are you drinking this morning?
I'm actually drinking a cappuccino that I made with Bowbreaker.
Ooh, fancy.
Thank you.
I'm drinking Trevor.
Gross.
Well, if you would like some Trevor juice, you can head over to King's Coast. I'm gonna get in trouble for this one.
Yeah, that's not a good. That's
Trevor's Mayday Roast, kingscoastcoffee.com. We got a little special treat coming for you at the end of the month, beginning of next month. So stay tuned for that. If you're part of the Kings Club, you'll find out before everybody else. Maybe you should become part of the Kings Club, Kings Coast Coffee.
how do they do that? How do they become a part of the King's Club?
Go to kingscoastcoffee.com and go to the navigation link at the top and click around and join the Kings Club. Bing, bing, bada boom, bada 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 da da da.
Yeah, just click around. Just click.
Well, it's
around.
It's intuitively navigated. If you go to more, you can go to Kings Coast Coffee subscription and click it. It's going to take you to the Kings Club, and then you could join, and then you don't have to worry about your coffee order because we'll just ship it right to your front door.
There you go.
Bang, bang, boom, done. You don't have to worry about it.
There
Just shows up.
is.
Just shows up.
Yes.
It's there.
Yes.
It's like black magic, dark magic, coffee, dark. See what I did there? GCXevent.com. Tickets are on sale now. You can hang out with Tim at GCX this year and some of his friends like Dr. Lupo.
You can stare at me from a distance.
We're probably gonna do the temple again.
You can like we'll make eye contact as I walk by. I'm like, hey, what's up?
I talked to a prop stylist the other day, so we'll probably do the temple again.
Oh, come on. Do we have to?
Why not? You want to do that?
So creepy. Give me some, they're like, what's with this weird tent over here, Tim? I'm like, I don't know. Just shut up.
Things have to evolve over time. Tim's temple was like GCX itself in 2015. It was in a bar. It was in a tent. And, eventually you'll have your own little cult room.
Is getting very expensive.
With human sacrifices and things of that nature.
And dangerous, apparently.
GCXevent.com/tickets. Actually, I've seen a ton of people from Tim's community when I talk about it in chat that are like, I'm going.
Yeah,
So
a lot of people are going this year that didn't go last year. So
a lot of people are going. So we keep hearing that. Hotel block will be available very soon. We apologize about that. We're working very hard to get that done. I will be at Rosen on Friday. So if it's not up by Friday, I will be verbally standing in the room, just in the lobby going, I need my hotel block. So until they give it to us.
Be in the room where it happened, the room where it happened, the room where it happened.
So yeah, we're working hard at that. gcxevent.com/tickets. Hopefully next episode, for the first episode of Mandalorian season 3, we will be able to announce the hotel block here. Also, April's around the corner, so that means Lab 77 is going to be doing stuff, because I hear they do stuff on April 29th. That's the rumor around the office. I don't know the details yet. I don't even know if Tim knows the details, but you may want to stay tuned to Lab 77 for April 29th. That's 429 for those that don't know. Ironically, Tim's screen name is Darkness 429. Weird coincidence. I don't know.
Is your birthday in April?
Happy birthday, Tim. All right, go ahead, bud.
This episode sucked. I texted Kevin after I was done watching it. I was like, I've lost interest.
Yeah,
There's nothing in that episode that made me like just go, yeah, that was good. Like
I was using my voice chat while I was driving with Tim, and I was like, I saw your name pop up, and he was like, he hated the episode.
It's just, like I've just gotten to the point where it's just like these aren't these are like the equivalent of the Jar Jar Binks episodes in Clone Wars.
They're side quests.
They're just but they're not even like they're just boring at this point. It just they feel repetitive. It feels just like monotonous tasks. There was no point. There's not like it didn't drive anything other than them getting the Milano back.
That didn't need to be 2 episodes. I will say that. The second part was I was going to get real pissed off if they lost their ship. I was like, come on, not everyone in the Star Wars universe needs to lose their ship. I like the quote at the end when Omega said that there's Mako's all over the galaxy. It's not just the Empire. And then Tech said to her, you know, there's people like us. But that was like the highlight of the entire thing for me of both episodes.
I liked Mako. I thought he was like he's cool, like as like a crime lord. I mean, like he looked neat.
What race was he though?
I don't know. I didn't
figure that out.
And the droids were really cool looking too. That was another thing that I made a mental note. I was like, security droids very cool looking. Because they looked unique and new, and I didn't recognize them. We learned about this guy skimming from the top, but I mean, it's still like it was just like
the droids. The droids look like L3 to me. Lando's droid with the circular heads.
No, but these had like they looked like ninjas. They were like
no, they did, but I'm saying the head shape and the body, the way it moved, looked a bit like L3. I'm not saying that's what they were, but that was the closest they've.
These are very different looking. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just I don't know what to say. I'm tired of saying that these were filler episodes, but like at what point are we going to say enough with the filler episodes? Because this is a little much, in my opinion. Yeah. It's just like I don't know what we're doing with like it feels like season 2 for the Bad Batch. There's only been maybe 3 episodes out of how many? 10? There's been like 3 episodes
yeah.
Yeah, I think there's been like 3 or 4 episodes that have like really pushed the story along. But like everything else has just been like these fun little side quests that don't really do anything other than maybe a little bit of character development here and there. And I know we're working within a 27-minute time frame, but it's just like, was the Bad Batch season 2 created just to fill the dead air between what was the last Disney show that came out?
So my feeling is
the Willow and Mando.
Yeah, because there's nothing from Marvel. I mean, there's other Disney shows coming out, but ones that.
Oh, I guess I guess there's been other Disney shows that have been out. There was the National Treasure show.
There was. There's the National Treasure show.
Yeah, there's a National Treasure show.
Is it Nick Cage?
It's no. It's like teenagers.
Oh,
I heard it's terrible though. Which, I mean, to be expected with National Treasure. I'm pulling up Disney Plus now. I don't think there's really been anything else on the app. Like Wakanda Forever, but like show wise, yeah, it really is just it's been nothing. Dance Moms. Do you know you watch Dance Moms on Disney Plus?
No.
Yeah.
Is that the show where they mistreat their children?
Yes.
Got it.
Yes.
Sick.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's another moms live vicariously through their daughter's show.
Yeah. Old Bob really did a really good job with the lineup. Freaking old Bob. Yeah, I mean, it's. I would have been fine with 8 episodes of Bad Batch, and they're all meaningful. I didn't need filler. If you want to go to 12 and throw a few fillers in there, cool. I would have been fine. But 16 and like 3 have been meaningful out of 10. I don't want to say I'm disappointed, but you're losing me.
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to the first season where I was like pretty interested. They went off and side quested. It was okay. This feels like a little too much. This feels like me playing a video game, and why. No, it feels like Carnage playing a video game. Is a perfectionist when it comes to video games, and he has to clear the map more than I do.
Oh God, I didn't know.
And he here's the kicker. Here's where I'm going with this. He reads all of the text. So like in Atomic Heart, you started it yesterday too. When you go to the computers and you see the emails and stuff.
Oh, I didn't read those.
Cole will sit there and read the entire email to his chat. So the Bad Batch, it's like a Carnage playthrough of a video game. Very complete. Lots of world building, all of the information you needed and also didn't need. All there.
Some of those emails are really boring.
I read the first 2 and I was like, this is not like Fallout where there's humor or anything. They're actually trying to make
it's actual business emails back and forth to people.
Yeah, and then the company directories in every computer, and for some reason I always click it and I'm like, why do I keep clicking it? But everything is okay.
I agree with you. It's
because the horny modification robot. So
oh my God, she wants to fuck so hard.
It's like horrifying.
It made me uncomfortable.
It's so uncomfortable. I kept looking at the camera.
I was just like, oh my God.
I kept looking at the camera going, is this real right? TikTok was loving it. They're like, oh, look at a horny robot. Okay.
Of course, TikTok loved it.
TikTok loved the horny robot chat. Twitch chat was like, okay, this is all right. Okay, we're doing this. I was like, we have to if we want to upgrade our weapons and continue playing the game.
Thankfully, she's not always like that. She doesn't always want to bang your brains out.
All right. Well, I can't wait to get to that part. When I saved yesterday, she was talking about putting stuff in her. And so anyway,
Atomic Heart.
Atomic Heart.
Atomic Heart's a great game. Anyways, yeah, it felt very unnecessary. It felt like an episode that they had to push out, not that they wanted to push out.
Right.
Like I don't know, like I've seen a lot of people say on Twitter, like this is just like Dave Filoni's sandbox at this point. And that's what it feels like. It just feels like it's just like this is just Dave Filoni's story that he's gonna tell regardless of anyone's input.
Which is very George Lucas of him.
Yeah, he's just fucking going for it, just full send. He's just like, I've got this idea for the Bad Batch, and I'm gonna go to the end. But it's just like, well, I feel like he had a really great idea, and then he got halfway through, and then he was just like, oh fuck, I don't know.
There are many great minds in the world of storytelling that need people beside them saying no.
Yeah,
George Lucas was one.
Mm-hmm.
Dave is turning into that person. Another great one for you wrestling fans, Vince McMahon. He overstayed his welcome and needed people to start saying no to him, but everyone was terrified of him. So
do you think people are afraid to say no to Dave Filoni?
I think Kathleen and John are probably the only two that feel okay saying no to him at this point, and maybe Iger.
Yeah, I just don't know at the end. I don't see the end game here with Bad Batch.
Kevin Feige is becoming that person too.
Oh, I've noticed that.
I think he's so frustrated that he can't. Tangentially, and this all applies to what we're talking about. I think with Kevin Feige, it was you waited so long to hear Avengers Assemble in Endgame.
Oh,
it was an 11-year buildup, and you've just done this, and it is of no fault of your own. It's because you hit that mountaintop, and that's what everyone was waiting for. So there wasn't anywhere to go but down. It's unfair to say anything otherwise. But when it comes to Marvel, they're trying to reinvent the world, but you've lost the interest of people because a lot of the heroes they're introducing are not the heroes we grew up reading in comic books. You're trying to recreate the entire world, so that's where you're struggling. We'll talk about this more at the end because Liam Neeson had some comments on it too. With Star Wars, it's having to rebuild the entire world against what everyone knew it as in one of the many disconnected canon things of whatever George Lucas was feeling was canon that week. So it's not an easy task, and I don't envy Dave Filoni, but I do think Dave Filoni is just doing what he wants and what he thinks is best. and I understand the idea of world building in an animated series. I get it. And that might be why it was overlapped with Mandalorian now. Maybe it does have absolutely nothing to do with the story. It's so we all don't fall asleep at the wheel.
That's how it feels. Like I was expecting some type of tie-in or like connection or nod or anything to be like, oh, and Mandalorian's coming out next week.
The only thing I could see is that kid coming back because he said, if you ever need a thief, you know where I am. That's
that'd be interesting.
Thing. That was it. That was it.
He'd be pretty old by that point.
No, not even for Mandalorian. I meant in like a later Bad Batch episode.
Oh, yeah. I kind of got that vibe I kind of got that vibe that we see him again.
Yeah. So that could be the only thing I could see we could get from that episode. Aside from that, it was
pretty meh for me.
It was pretty meh.
Like action sequence wise, like there was really nothing that happened. I was like, that was fucking cool. Like when Hunter went diving for Omega, like that was neat. But like that was really it. There wasn't really anything that happened this episode that made the 26 minutes of watch time worth it for me.
Yeah. I mean,
like I feel like we left the Bad Batch at such a high at the season 1, and we had that fun teaser. Like, what happened?
I don't know. I really don't. I wish.
I'm very lost, and the whole there's been no character development for Omega, which sucks. I understand what's going on in the world right now. I feel like everyone understands what's going on. They're getting rid of the clones. They're phasing out the clones to get the TKs in. But why? What else is going on? Why is there no we're saying that this is world building? Where's the world building?
World building in the sense that this is a new planet. These are new species.
We didn't. I don't even know what. I don't even care what planet we were on with that last one.
I don't know either. I'm not saying it's a good job of doing it. I'm just saying that's all I got. Also, I was looking at something and I sent this to you because it's hysterical. It says the Bad Batch names according to Omega. It has their pictures. It says Hunter, Rika, Tick,
Iko, Hunter, Rika.
Hunter spelled Hanta.
Hunter. Yeah, if you want to learn Australian, this is a great way. Tick.
Tick.
Come on, Tick. Got to go.
So, I mean, does this cause the show not to be renewed? Does it cause them to move on? Obviously, the characters can be placed anywhere.
I would like to see a poll on Star Wars fans' interest of the Bad Batch currently.
It's just difficult to go from Andor, which shocked all our pants off.
Shit! Oh my god! What a
to
high.
Bad Batch, and then I guarantee you next week we're going to be back to singing the praises of Star Wars again. So,
but I think you're right. I think going from Andor to Bad Batch was just that was a wake up call. It was just you just you were really enjoying some good shit, huh? Bam.
Did you finish Battle for Jeddah too?
I've got an hour left. It's very good.
Okay. Yeah, and then you have two of the best High Republic books, in my opinion, next to what's that one? Into the Dark, whatever it's called.
Into the Dark was fantastic. Did you see the other? There's another book that's out called Purge.
Purge? No, let me look.
Is
it a young teen book?
I don't think so. But Jeddah's really good. I will say I get a little lost sometimes with all the voices.
I like that better than.
Oh no, sorry, Cataclysm. My bad.
Cataclysm.
This one comes out. I'm gonna pre-order it so I have it.
Oh yeah, April. Yeah, I pre-ordered it already. Yeah.
Yes, this is the next adventure of the High Republic set after the events of Convergence and the Battle of Jeddah. Perfect.
Yeah, I pre-ordered that one. April 4th.
Yeah, this is just so Battle of Jeddah seems to be just kind of a play off of Convergence.
Yes.
It feels like it's just a continuation or the post credits stuff.
It's not even that. It's more, I don't want to say wrapping up the story because the Iram Arano story is not getting wrapped up. It's continuing the Iram Arano story and kind of wrapping up this part of it, if you will.
Yeah, I like the direction they're going. I like that there's like this third party that's trying to sabotage the whole thing. And like it's a good book. It's well written, and it's nice and short too. It's not a big investment, which is
7
nice.
hours, 6 hours, something like that. We have more Star Wars comics coming. September 5th, Dark Horse is doing Tales from the Death Star.
Ooh, what's that going to
From
be
the
about?
destruction of Alderaan to the shadow of the forest moon, alien creatures, phantom starships, deadly artifacts, and vengeful spirits all stalk the halls of the infamous space station.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
That sounds like it's up Tim's alley big time.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
I'm assuming it's canon. Assuming.
I would assume so. I mean, it's got the Disney sticker right on the front of it.
Yeah, so I'm assuming it's canon, but it sounds a little creepy.
I need to do more comics, man. Every time I sit down and read comics, like this is fun, and then I stop doing it. And
it's time. That's the problem. It's time.
Yeah.
It's very nice to sit with the iPad and just.
Yeah, it's really relaxing, especially when you have it on when you get the app and like you download and it's just all in high res. You could like zoom in and look at all the detail and the artwork.
Yep.
Like it's therapeutic.
I love sitting down on Saturday morning with coffee and doing that in my yard outside, just reading comics. But then someone comes yelling at me, Daddy, I didn't think about it. Then my immersion's broken. But I chose to have kids, so that's on me.
Yeah, it's your fault.
High Republic Edge of Balance precedent is the next Star Wars manga to be released from Viz on May 23rd.
Holy shit,
It will serve as one of
in the weeb force.
It will serve as one. I am not a weeb. It will serve as one of the final stories in Phase 2 of the High Republic publishing initiative. I didn't read the first one. I'm not gonna lie. That's not my cup of tea. Is there? I doubt, and this is again, we can go back to Bad Batch with this. I doubt these have these like life-changing, or I should say, lore-changing stories in them. It's just fun stories.
Yeah, you're not missing out on anything. It's just it's the seasoning to the stories. It enhances it for you.
Yep. So that is May 23rd. If you're into manga, anime comics.
Oh, anime comics? That doesn't sound right. You're really pissing people off right now. I can feel it.
Anime. You can feel the disturbance in the
weeb
force.
No.
Paul's sitting behind his desk right now, throwing himself out the window, listening to this.
Punching at the air.
Isn't May when Visions comes out too, or is that June?
Yes, May the 4th, Kevin. May the 4th. May the 4th.
So Visions comes out on May the 4th. May the 4th is Star Wars and Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Oh, shit.
Calm down, Disney.
I'm not going to go to the theaters and watch it.
There was a whole thing yesterday.
I need to go back to Disney
May
Plus.
5th is Guardians. There's a whole thing yesterday about how people are going to stop going to the movies to see Marvel movies and just wait for them to come on Disney Plus. I read a whole thread.
Yeah, it's so much
from Ant-Man, because people were like, it's a fine movie, but it was not worth going to the theater for. It was the general consensus that I was gathering. So, there's movies like Endgame and stuff like that where you're like, I got to see this in the theater. I heard Wakanda Forever was you should see it in the theater movie.
I'm going to pop it on Disney Plus.
I haven't watched it yet because I'm not caught up. I like to watch it all in order. And right now I am like dick deep in The Last of Us, and I have one episode Sundays to catch up.
Just watched that last night, and it was good.
How emotionally scarred are you?
So I don't want to ruin this.
Don't give it away. It's either the Wyoming part of the game or they're bringing in more flashback filler stuff, or they're inventing a whole new portion, which I'm totally fine with.
No, it was in line with the events of the game. They just they shortened some stuff and then tweaked it. They made it work for the show. Yeah, it's fine. Amy was emotionally scarred.
Oh, my wife after Henry and Sam, you knew what was coming.
Oh,
I knew what was coming.
As soon as I saw the hotel, it jogged my memory, and I was like, "Oh no!" And Amy goes, "What?" And I go, "Don't worry about it."
it didn't click who they were until he said their names, and I was like, "Oh no, not this story! Anything but this is the one thing you could have left out."
Yeah, I couldn't remember how it happened. That whole part like just lost. I was like, oh, do they live off happily ever after? I can't remember.
The church and the sniper was like, I remembered that vividly from the game. Also, that's all Pittsburgh. There's no Kansas City in the game. It's all Pittsburgh, right? If I remember correctly.
I honestly don't.
There's only 4 locations. It's Boston, Pittsburgh, Wyoming, and Washington are the 4.
I like that they made Kansas City.
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Again, This is what I was going to say. Neil Druckmann is a director and producer on the show. Neil Druckmann is the one who wrote the Last of Us story for the video game. Neil Druckmann can do whatever the fuck he wants. That's how I feel.
Because it still works.
Yeah.
It works.
Tell the story a different way.
He made it work. It could be just an alternate universe where just some of the events changed just a little bit.
What's her name was a new character, Kathleen?
Yes.
She was a brand new character.
The woman in Kansas City, the leader. Yeah,
I have a feeling, I know we're going off a tangent here, but we'll talk about Celebration in a second. I have a feeling that she is the introduction of the type of person that we're going to meet when we eventually meet Abby. Like they're showing.
Yes, I think. Yeah, I agree. I think she's gonna be one of those like leaders that move on to that next thing, where she's always gonna be like that overarching antagonist. Where it's like her and Joel will only ever like they'll cross paths very lightly, but it won't actually like nothing will happen until we get to like the main Ellie story.
Yes. Yep. Well,
yeah.
And for those of you that haven't played the game, have fun getting to that part.
Christ, I'm so ready to watch Amy's face for that one.
My wife goes after she's sitting on the couch like this with Henry and Sam like this at the end, and I'm just sitting there like this because once he had his back to the window, I was like, "Here we go."
Yep.
Arms crossed, didn't even flinch. Knew it was going to happen. Joel pleading with him. I was like, "This is just like it goes down in the game. It's no different." And she's like shaking, like traumatized. So I put my arm around her and I go, "This isn't the worst thing that's going to happen." And she's like, turns to me horrified and goes, "What?" And I go, "This is nothing." Because I'm again, spoilers. I'm of the mind that Joel scene, that's all I'm going to say. I'm just saying the Joel scene is going to go on too long.
It's gonna be like it's gonna be like Walking Dead level kind of traumatizing.
I think it's gonna be Sansa getting level of traumatizing.
Oh,
remember how the camera panned away? We didn't even see anything.
Yeah,
you just heard it during the credits, and you're like, "This is going on too long," and I'm beyond uncomfortable.
It was very off-putting.
So that's how I think we're gonna feel.
Yeah, and this is a great time for us to take an ad break. So we're gonna pay some bills and. Well, when we come back, we'll be talking about Star Wars Celebration.
No, it's not.
And after that brand control meeting, we're back. I'm going to talk about Star Wars Celebration.
Carl Weathers is going to be there. Have you ever wanted to meet Apollo Creed? Well, you got to go to London. I should have said Grief Karga, but he'll always be Apollo Creed to me. I can't. Can you separate him?
So when he like walks around, do you just imagine him in spangly pants?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay. I'm waiting
now,
for him.
Now I will not be able to unsee that now. Thank you.
I'm waiting for him to turn to Mando and be like, "Don't throw in the towel." And then somebody else pops out of the corner like, "Throw the damn towel." That's another scene that messed me up as a kid. I was like, "Why did you throw in the towel? You're gonna save Apollo."
Yeah, he's dead. He died.
Spoilers.
I will break you.
I must break you. So Carl Weathers will be there. Brian Herring, who is BB-8. Now is BB-8
sorry?
The beeping noise or BB-8 rolling around in a costume?
Okay, hold on. So there was an actual actor that was R2-D2. Like he actually sat inside.
It's Willow. It's Warwick Davis.
Yeah.
Oh, he's the puppeteer for BB-8.
No one gives a shit about the person who holds the remote control. They just want to meet the robot.
Tim, he looks exactly like you'd think he looks. I want
you to Google BB-8?
No, I just want you to Google him. Here, no, don't Google him.
What's his name?
Hold on, I have to show you this picture because he looks exactly like.
Make sure we bring it up on screen so people can see it. They're watching this on YouTube.
I'll send it to Paul so he has it for the edit. But like, he looks exactly like you think he would look.
Why are you texting this to me?
Because it's easier.
No, he does look like BB-8.
There you go, Paul.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. He just He looks
He
like
looks
he really
like a
loves.
puppeteer
He
of
looks like he
BB-8.
really loves robots.
And puppets.
I don't understand how this man can claim fame for controlling a robot.
Why don't
Like,
you go to
you
his
don't
Q&A and ask him?
You don't see animators like doing like appearances. Like
Yes,
I
they
animated.
do.
Says who? Now
We
when you have now when you have 100 people that are working on animating Yoda,
We had the animators from Marvel Comics at GCX this year.
that's different. That's different. Those are
Okay.
like artists. That's like a Monet of like of our time. Like this guy just controls a robot.
You heard it here. Puppeteers are not artists.
I don't understand. What are you gonna ask this guy?
Paul,
So
try and
what was
book
it
this
like
guy for the
being-
podcast.
Holy shit.
Paul, please make that happen. I really want to have this
I
conversation.
wonder if he's gonna be like Anthony Davis, and he's like really like that's his entire brand is like he is C3PO.
Just
Like,
yeah, but
that's,
Anthony Davis
like-
is a phenomenal job of riding the wave for 30 years, 40 years.
I know, but still, like it's just all right. Good for him.
And then Samantha Alien, she was the stormtrooper. Being the first female. Oh, she's the first female stormtrooper for the Disney Star Wars era. Okay, that's kind of significant.
Sorry, I said Davis. I meant Daniels. I was like Anthony Davis. That's a basketball player.
Yes, no,
Daniels.
So
Before someone
yeah,
like, it's Anthony Daniels, Tim. I know.
She was-
Sorry.
she was the first female stormtrooper, and she's been the female stormtrooper throughout all the Disney Star Wars
That's
movies.
awesome.
So she'll be there. And if you're at Celebration, you can find the booking link if you'd like to go to their meet and greet in the episode description. So Paul popped that in there with Nick and do the whole thing. Again, we're not going to Celebration.
That's really good fan service, Kevin.
I know we wanted to go to Celebration, but Tim and I were like,
I just really
London?
wanted to go to London.
Same, I did, but like April, London, everything going on.
Yeah, it's not a good idea. It's a terrible idea.
Yeah, we'll go to London at a different time.
No, it's a different time.
Another time and another place.
A different time, Kevin.
On that note, yesterday, in this wasn't really announced. It was just in a footnote, but it's the Star Wars Celebration was answering questions or Q&A or something on their website. And in the article, it said, with the next Star Wars Celebration not taking place until 2025, you'll have plenty of time to work on your cosplay, refine your Wookiee roar, and sharpen your lightsaber skills. That leads me to believe that we are in for a drought of announcements after this onslaught of great television that we're going to get.
Yeah.
And then probably back in Orlando. Now, if Tim and I do not go to the Orlando one, you can chastise the hell out of us.
Mhm.
Because there is legitimately no excuse for Tim and I not to go to the Orlando one. So 2025, I would assume Orlando, not confirmed, Star Wars Celebration. But I think that means we are in for a dry spell.
Yeah, I think it's going to be rough.
I think the Ubisoft game will be the saving grace.
I'm it's really interesting to see that they're doing this again where they're taking that year off. I'm trying to think back at what it was like when they did this last time when there was that year gap. It was between movies, wasn't it? It was between like episodes 8 and 9 or 7 and 8.
No,
it was between one of the episodes.
They canceled 2020 because of COVID, and they didn't come back until 2020.
When was Orlando?
I
When was
believe.
Orlando last? That was 2017.
18 Star Wars Celebration.
I want to say it was
Orlando.
2017.
Uh,
Was it 2016?
April 13th to 16th, 2017.
It was 2017. Yeah, and then after Orlando was
Chicago in 2019.
Went to Chicago in 2019.
And then Anaheim in 2022. And then Europe was this year.
I could have sworn there was a break and not just like a COVID break. I thought it was just like a break.
There is a break. 17. There's no 2018, and then there's no
That's what it was.
2020, and then there's no
Okay, so
2021.
it went from 2017 to 2019.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's it. It makes me feel like we're gonna go through like a big Star Wars drought.
I mean, it feels like in a lot of ways they're just getting the content out that they had in the pipeline and then reforming a bit. Probably with Iger coming on, probably with fan reaction to some stuff. Also, they can announce stuff at D23, so it's not like we'll be completely.
That's true. I always forget about D23 or D23.
Yeah, well, it's not like we'll be completely in the dark. We'll have D23. So, and then they also did. It wasn't D23 when they had the shareholders meeting. We found out a ton of information. Remember, the weirdest was the shareholders meeting with Disney, and they were like, season 15 of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and we're like, wait a minute, oh Fox, oh that's weird coming from Disney. So, yeah, we'll see. It's 2025, hoping for Orlando. Fingers crossed.
I would love that. Having that in our backyard is just so good.
What's funny
especially
is
with Batu and everything.
we say in our backyard, but you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna be like, let's make a weekend out of it. Let's go to Disney, and then we'll go to Tim and I go to Celebration. Our wives will hang out with the kids by the pool. And then Tim and I will end up going Galaxy's Edge because that'll be a great idea during Star Wars Celebration. Won't be crowded at all. And then
not at all. There's no way in hell.
So even though it's in our backyard, we're still the only thing we're not going to do is get on an airplane. Everything else will be pretty much the same.
And we'll be able to park our car. Yeah, like you could like take your car and then park it. So like
that's a big deal because then one of us can drive to OCC. I'm assuming that's where it'll be.
That's where it was last time, and it fit really well.
There's no other venue that could hold them in Orlando.
No, it's massive.
Yeah, so
needs a lot of room.
Yep.
The show you haven't seen the show floor.
OCC of Celebration or OCC?
Yeah, you've never been to a Celebration.
No, I've never been to Celebration.
Yeah, man,
I've seen the floor plan.
It's so cool, dude. Like the props and stuff they have out, like just like the people who bring stuff. Like
I saw last year's. They had that whole stage set that I was freaking out over.
There's the Battle of Andor. They have like the actual like shield generator, and like there's a fucking ATST that's standing outside. The guy brings this Rancor every year. It's super cool. You can like sit in the hand and it holds you.
I freak out because as you know, planning events for God knows how long, I love incorporating props into events and trade shows and things like that. That's one of my favorite things to do. So I love when a client comes and they're like, we have this huge budget. I'm like, cool, I'm going to spend it all. So that stuff excites me. I don't like boring trade shows. I hate it. So when GCX budget, like last year with COVID numbers and everything, we had to slash things and it was like heartbreaking to me because that's not how I like to put on an event. So
yeah,
I love props and cool things. Like old school E3 was the jam when they had the themed booths and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we got really, really hammered after one GCX and we were in the pool and I was just shouting out ideas. I was like, what if for the division there was like smoke and rubble and you got like pulled in by agents to go try whatever the new thing is. It's like GCX Dark Zone. I don't know. I'm just going to keep drinking this margarita in a bag that I got at Publix.
It sucked.
Oh, it was awful. I had the worst headache.
I really hammered though.
That was the night I passed out at 8.
Yeah, because you went buying margaritas for everybody.
I was like, who wants Dockside Margs? And it's Disney Springs.
It's like, Kevin, we're eating Ghirardelli. We don't want a margarita.
Everyone needs a margarita.
The girls just wanted ice cream.
For reference, it's the one day of the year that my wife is like, do whatever you want. You want to puke? Go for it. You want to fall asleep early? Go for it. It's the one day a year. Not even my birthday, I can do this. This is the one day a year that I'm just allowed to cut loose. And boy, did I ever.
He cut loose. The picture I have of Kevin is him laying in bed with a towel over his forehead.
Yep. And then Wayne and Cam and them left the next morning and didn't even say, I couldn't even say goodbye to them because I passed out. So,
yep.
Good times.
GCXevent.com. Make sure to get your tickets today.
Do it. So on the subject that we were talking about before, so Liam Neeson came out and basically said that he's unhappy with the frequency of Star Wars media now.
I posted this on Facebook and I will say it here. I disagree with the dead Jedi Master.
I disagree with him too, but Bad Batch is also kind of proving him right.
Okay. All right. So if you look at it just in the context of the live action shows, like don't take the animated, okay. Don't put Bad Batch in this. All right. Okay. Leave Rebels and Clone Wars in there. And then but I mean like they were kind of like their own ancillary things. So like they were kind of like already like established. And then we've got all these live action stuff that have really enhanced the universe. They've really added to, they've helped fix things, they've helped add context to certain things. I think Liam Neeson, I think he's talking about, I honestly don't know how to defend him. I think he's wrong. I think I'm just going to say that. I don't agree with him. I don't understand where he's saying that it's diluting Star Wars, because all these shows have done have helped strengthen Star Wars, I think, from a storytelling perspective, other than Bad Batch filler episodes. Bad Batch filler episodes. The Bad Batch actual story-driven episodes that are actually like moving the actual Star Wars story along have actually been very good, and I've enjoyed those.
Okay.
So that's like 4. But I still don't see where he's saying that. Like, there have been a couple like filler episodes of Mando and even like Book of Boba Fett. But I mean, like, it's gonna happen. Like, you're gonna have filler episodes. Like, that's just to be expected. But at the same time, I don't think that dilutes Star Wars. I think having the option to watch all these different shows, like we said with Andor, like, people didn't watch Andor, and then later on they went back and watched all of Andor, and then what happened? Holy shit, this was awesome. This was great. I love this Star Wars show. So, I disagree.
I disagree with you, but I do think he has merit to an extent to say that.
Disagree with me?
No, I disagree with him. Sorry, I meant to say him.
Okay.
I do think he has merit to say that to an extent. I'm not 100% think he's wrong or right. I think it's somewhere in the middle. My feeling is they've been concentrating on the wrong eras of Star Wars. I will maintain that. The cadence of the books and comics is fantastic right now. And the quality of most of the shows is up to snuff. But as we're seeing with Bad Batch, there are some snoozers. We saw it with the final season of Clone Wars. There are some snoozers. Even in Mando, there's some snoozers.
I would say the last 3 movies diluted Star Wars more than the shows have.
Last 2.
Okay.
I think The Force Awakens is a very good movie.
It's okay. The book was better.
Fair.
Just saying. The book was better than the movie, because the movie leaves out so much. Also, it's almost a 1-for-1 with episode 4. So, like, I have problems with that movie. I really hate that they essentially made another Death Star. It's just the plot in of itself felt very recycled. So that's my frustration with that movie. I understand why they did it. It's very frustrating. But I really think that the movies did more harm to Star Wars than the shows have. If you really want to look at like what has diluted storytelling, because now we were left with so many plot holes with the 6 movies that Lucas gave us, and then you end up with 3 new episodes that open up a whole different can of worms, and you just don't fix it. The transition of Snoke from 7 to 8 is the biggest mindfuck in the world, and it's not a good one. It's not like that was awesome. It was like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
It's frustrating. So I would say that the shows have done a really good job of fixing a lot of Lucas's problems, but now we got to go and fix all the other ones that JJ and what's his name who did episode 8. They couldn't figure it out.
Green.
Yeah.
Well, it's JJ's fault, not Rand's, because
it's JJ's fault for not doing all 3.
Yeah, because he was supposed to do all 3, and he decided to go do Star Trek instead.
And Star Trek was great. I thought he did a great job of Star Trek. It was very good.
So, is what it is. But there's merit to what he said. I'm not going to take it away. His exact quote was, asked if he would return past a single recent cameo he did with Hugh McGregor's Obi-Wan. He definitively said no and gave his reason. No, I'm not. Neeson said, there's so many spin-offs of Star Wars, it's diluting it to me, and it's taken away the mystery and magic in a weird way. I don't agree with that direct quote. I think it adds to the magic the more you put into it, if you do it in the right way. But I will say, we have our fair share of snoozers. But, I mean, any IP that gets fleshed out is it's not going to be perfect. It's literally impossible. So...
Agreed.
Cool. Well, that's all we got today. So thank you for tuning in to Star Wars and Scotch, episode 120. When we return next week, we'll have a new episode of Bad Batch, but more importantly, we will have the first episode of The Mandalorian season 3 to chat about. So things are going to get ramping up here as we just start discussing Mandalorian and
God, I love that theme song.
Season 3. So Tim, Darkness429. You can check him out everywhere on the internet at Darkness429, but most importantly, go watch him stream at fb.gg/Darkness429. He's playing Atomic Heart. Anything else?
Just Tarkov.
We're laughing.
It's rough out there, dude.
It is. Well, we won't go into that. But fb.gg/Darkness429, 9 a.m.-ish Eastern every weekday. And then everything I do is at raredrop.co. If you want to chat with me, KMagic101 on Instagram, Kevin X Vision on Twitter.
You've been doing some
we
live
are Star
streams
Wars
lately?
and Scotch. What?
You've been doing some live streams lately?
I have. I've been firing up the Twitch channel, doing on the Rare Drop TikTok, played some Atomic Heart, gonna play some Atomic Heart again today.
Nice.
And I don't have much time to do it, but I take a little time every week just to hang out and say hello and see some old faces. People are coming in like, "You're streaming again." I was like, "I've been doing it for 3 months, but hi, good to see you too." So yeah, it's just like a little hi, hello, and once my functional trainer gets delivered in March, I will set up the rest of my streaming equipment in there as well, and maybe do some stuff from home. Maybe I'll
You're
play
gonna
some
do
games
workout
with Tim.
streams?
No, God, no. Fuck.
You're gonna do workout streams, guys. You heard it here first. KMagic101 is gonna
Janessa tried
become
to do this yesterday.
He's gonna be a fitness influencer.
Nope. That
Whoa.
is my time. That is
Kevin.
my time. Sound familiar, Tim? That's my time.
Man, I can't wait. Can't wait to see Kevin's workouts on Instagram and his diet
Unfortunately,
plans.
you're gonna have to watch them at either 9 o'clock at night or 5 in the morning. So those are the only
Sounds
two
terrible.
times. No, you know what's terrible? Doing one at 9 o'clock at night and then waking up and doing another one at 5 in the morning. That's terrible.
Gross. Ew.
Gotta do what you gotta do.
True.
This sexual Tyrannosaurus Rex won't build itself.
Okay,
Tim.
all right, we gotta go. May the force be with you. Bye.